fortunate to have three panelists that came with a wealth of life experiences and also insights for the topic of how can we build support system to continue pursue your career successfully. Alright, and other than their life experiences, we also come with a very variety of ethnicity as well, right? So we have Dato Rohana, we have Dr. Vimi and also Siew from different ethnicity, and I also understand that in Singapore is a Singaporean that married to a Penang husband, right? So it's the same. Alright, okay. So our panelists came from a different background, and I would like to give you a little trailer here that three of them came from a different background, but yet they are using different way, leverage a different way, but they're still able to balance their career and also their family well. Okay, so I'm very excited to introduce them, each one of them to you. Okay, our first panelist is Dato Rohana Ghani-Weiler. We will call her Dato Rohana today. Yeah. She's a member of Board of Directors of Penang Women Development Center, or we call it PWDC, and she's currently sitting as the chair of Gender Inclusiveness Advisory Committee. Alright, and prior to this role, Dato Rohana held the position of Vice President of Asia Pacific Human Resource Department of Adjunct Technologies. And Dato Rohana has a son. Alright, so our second panelist speaker, Dr. Vimi Ramasamy, we'll call Dr. Vimi today. So Dr. Vimi is the founder and also CEO of STRAVIK Business Consulting, and she just got awarded as the Adjunct Professor by UNITAR International last year. Congratulations for that. Yeah. So prior to this role, Dr. Vimi held the position of Managing Director of Malaysia Operation at RHS Market Global Malaysia. And during that time, she's the first female Managing Director for a multinational company in Malaysia. And Dr. Vimi has two beautiful daughters who's also with us today, over there. Alright, okay. So I heard that your husband is also a little need to really get him to actually talk a few minutes, yeah? Alright, so our third speaker is Lim Siew Yean. We're calling Siew Yean today. Yeah, Siew Yean is a successful mumpreneur who owns a thriving internet business while spending her time to spend more time with the kids during their growing up journey. And before that, Siew Yean also held the Asia Pacific Director position at one of the US 500 Fortune company as well. And Siew Yean has two children. Alright, okay, so you know what? Our today's topic is surrounding around women and also support system. The challenges associated with the lack of support systems for the working parents are real. We are not alone. And interestingly, from some of the reliable research that we have, right, women group generally are recording and indicating a very highest drop-off from corporate role at the age of 29. As young as 29. Yeah, this statistic is really scary. Yeah? So today, we'd like to really know more of them to how to help ourselves and also help the women around us how to make the best and most strategic decision for ourselves so that when we look back many years later, it is a worth to take decision and not regretting at all. Alright, so without further ado, I would like to actually start asking and engaging with our three panelists today to get more golden nuggets to learn from them how we can make it together. Alright, so first of all, I understand that, sorry, I think I'm too heavy. You must be too excited, right? Alright, so Dato Rohana, I understand from your background, because I get three of you from Step-In Group there and read through your stories and all that. So I still remember one of the very touchy points to me is you have a very special career trajectory that you somehow enable yourself to be able to get home from work every day back to home before 2 p.m. before your son comes back. So do you mind to share with us a personal story about how did you do that in order for you to pursue the balance between career and family success?
Thank you, Viv. And hello to my fellow panelists and everyone 1 year. So I'm going to start with saying that my husband and I don't have a support system here. We do not have any family members. That's one. Number two is that I know that I always want to be financially independent. So there's a difference, right? Working a job or financially independent, but I want to be financially independent. So when I was coming to full term, I asked myself this question, and I think this is a question where women ask themselves. And I asked them, am I prepared to give up my job? Do I leave or do I stay? And so, yes, I'm prepared to give up my job. Do I still want to be financially independent? Yes, I want to be financially independent. Then, how about the child? So what does the child need when the child is from 0 to 3? And that will be about stability, comfort, and child caregivers that would be competent and loving and providing this. So I discussed with my husband, and he said that let's get a full-time nanny. So no support system, no mother to send to, no aunties, nobody. Let's get a full-time day nanny. And that was the first step we took to get a full-time day nanny. And so then with that then I went back to continue working. Then at the age when he was 2.5 years old, I then asked myself again the same question, do I want to stay or do I want to leave? Why 2.5 years old? Because this is a milestone in a child's development. I subscribe to the research that 65% of the child's development is between the age of 3 to 7. So that's why this question came up again. And so, can I leave my job? The answer is yes. Do I still want to be financially independent? And then the answer is yes again. And so I went to tell my MD that this is what I decided to do. But he asked me to consider, is this really what you want to do? So consider this. So I was very clear of the end goal. The end goal is that at the age of 10 years old, I do not want my child to turn around and say to me, as when I'm trying to develop, I'm trying to correct something of the behavior and the style, and he will say, where were you before this? So because I was so clear of that I want to be an influencer, that the parents want to influence the development of the child mentally, in terms of behavior and so on, from the age of 3 to 7, then I was very clear to go. So then my group directing manager heard all this. So the next trip to the US, he said to me, Rohana, what are you going to do the whole day with this baby? I said, well, of course I want to work. Then he said, why don't you work with us? Why don't you work with us? And I said, yeah, I like to contribute to PhD. And he said, well, write your job description. So I did, and I wrote a job description, and it's compensation and benefits. Why? Because it's an individual contributor. I can be when I'm at work and then when I'm home. And then also, I really like the CMB. So I got a contract for 4 years, individual contributor job, compensation benefits, 50% salary of that job, and 50% comp and banks. But I was very happy to do that. So after 4 years, when the contract was over, I came back to work and the universe was aligned because the job that I left was vacant. Wow. And that was offered to me. And 1.5 years later, a position of Asia Pacific Diversity and Staffing Manager was offered to me. And another year later, when HB split, the Asia Pacific Human Resource Director for Adjunct Technologies, and this covered 12 countries, was offered to me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so the learning here is that you need to know whether you want to do whether you still want to continue to be financially independent. I think that's a very important question. The minute you want to, you put yourself into the equation of work and life balance. In any discussion that you have, you do put yourself also as a factor in the decision of how do I get the best of this work and right decision or way